The 10 days are up on my CGM sensor, so today I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process of a Dexcom G6 sensor change. Hi, my name is Jillian. I've been living with type 1 diabetes for nearly 32 years. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 young children. This is my diabetes lifestyle channel. In this channel, you'll have access to information about type 1 diabetes and also get a look at how I balance my family life living with a chronic illness. The Dexcom G6 CGM, or Controlled Glucose Monitor, was introduced in 2018. So I've been using it since early 2019, and it's been life-changing. It does have its faults, but I'm able to sleep better. The fear of scary lows has kind of been lifted from my life, and that's just a great feeling. Also, I'm able to fine-tune my insulin needs and adjust my diet accordingly. I'm very happy with it, and I recommend it to every type 1 diabetic. All right, so all we need for this process is the Dexcom G6 and an alcohol swab. So first step is to remove the old sensor, and transmitter is going to come off too. So that's the old G6 sensor and transmitter. You're going to pop that out of there. You just kind of pull down on this tab and then you can slide the sensor right out. Now you're going to want to take your alcohol prep pad and you're just going to want to sanitize it. So go ahead and clean it the best you can. And I use the one side for that. My hands are clean. I washed them before I started this process. So one side has been used. We're going to set that down. We're going to go ahead and open the packaging for the G6 sensor. So let's peel this paper backing off. Now I'm changing this on my Tandem TSlim X2 pump because I want it to communicate with the pump so I can see what my blood sugars are. And if I want to use the Control IQ, I can go ahead and activate that. So this is mostly for Tandem TSlim X2 pump users. Press the options button on the bottom left of the screen. You're going to scroll down until you see My CGM and start sensor because we're starting a new sensor. If you have a sensor code, press code to enter it now. We do have a code, so we're going to go ahead and press code. Now the code is going to be right here on this paper you peel off. So we are going to enter 9311. And check. Now we can go ahead and peel off that paper. And we are going to insert the sensor. I do like to use my arms. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our alcohol swab again, and you could use a new one, but like I don't like being wasteful, so I just flip mine around. And I'm gonna use the same arm because my pump is on my the right side of my body right now. But I am going to change up the site a little bit. Move it up here a little bit so it's not in that same spot for sure. You want to go ahead and use your alcohol swipe and give it some time to dry so it sticks well. Okay, so that should be pretty good. Okay, so this is the point where I like to take off that safety tab. Get it right there where I cleaned and put a little bit of pressure. It doesn't have to be hard. Go ahead and press. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. That one was pretty smooth. Sometimes it stings a little bit, but it's not that bad. It's okay. If it does hurt really bad, change it. Call Dexcom. And if you have a site that bleeds an abnormal amount, you can do the same. I'm bleeding a little, you can see it. Not a big deal. Okay, so now we're gonna take the sanitized transmitter and put the bottom tab in there and On the indent in the top, you're gonna hear it click a couple times, 2 to 3 times. Good to go. I always run my finger around it about 3 times to make sure it is securely in place so we can last the full 10 days.
You are ready to start your CGM session. New sensor readings will display on your home screen. Start sensor, check. Sensor started.
All right, so we've began the warm-up period. Now this does take 2 hours. You're gonna see a timer on your screen. It's kind of giving you a countdown so you know when to expect your next blood sugar reading. Make sure you know in the first 24 hours, you really can't count on the numbers to be accurate. You're gonna wanna test with your glucose meter, especially right after this warms up. And any time in the 2 hours where you start to feel like you're going low or high, or you're gonna eat and dose insulin, make sure you test your blood sugar. So the Dexcom G6 is stated to be the first CGM device where you don't need to do any finger pricks or scanning. I disagree with that. I feel like that's false advertisement on their part. I understand you do not have to calibrate your meter like the G5 and generations below that. You can calibrate it, which is great, but you don't need to. So I think that's what they're trying to say. You don't have to check your blood sugar a couple times a day to calibrate your CGM device. But you do need to be aware of its inaccuracies. So I know many type 1 diabetics have had success using their arm as a site. I started using it when I was breastfeeding my son Vincent over 4.5 years ago now. I found when I was nursing him and holding him like this, he was covering my stomach where the Dexcom was recommended to go. That's where I put it. And it blocked the signal, so I couldn't even tell what my blood sugar is the whole time I was nursing him, which was a lot. And that's when my blood sugars would really drop, was that first 3 months of breastfeeding. If any other type 1s have had experience with blood sugar drops and breastfeeding, leave me a comment down below. I'm really curious because I struggled with this so much. I was on little insulin the first 3 months of breastfeeding, and it was just nuts. So when I stopped breastfeeding Vincent, that's when we were attempting to have another baby. So there was a very short period there where I was using it on my stomach, maybe a few months. And then I got pregnant with Alice, and I went back to my arm again because just the accuracy, and then also I was kind of weirded out about having it inserted there, being pregnant. But I asked my doctors if it was okay to insert on your stomach. So they said, yes, go ahead and put it on your stomach. I kind of wanted to switch from the arm because I was getting some scar tissue. So I did have it on my stomach for a little bit, and it was horrible. I found that the accuracy was just way off when I was pregnant. The accuracy with the Dexcom is, they said it's anywhere from 20 to 30 points off without it being considered a bad sensor. But it was a lot. Even the 30 points, sometimes I would take a correction dose with that amount for, 150, but I want it for a 130 blood sugar. So, that could have a big effect on your diabetes. And during pregnancy, you want to be very careful. And my theory about the inaccuracies is maybe the changes in your blood volume while you're pregnant, or just different excess fluids in there. I'm not sure, but it definitely threw it off. If you're worried about your Dexcom not staying on your arm or your stomach, wherever your site is, for the full 10 days, or if you've had issues with this in the past, please check out my video about how to keep your Dexcom on for 10 days. I hope this video really helped you understand how easy this process is and a little bit more about the Dexcom G6. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them below. Again, my name is Jillian, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you find this information useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can check out my new content, and I'll see you in the next video.